Today on Animal Fact Files, we're talking about red rock crabs. Technically, there are at least 3 crab species commonly called red rock crabs, so we'll be discussing all 3 in this episode. Starting out, we have the red rock crab. These crabs have a broad range of distribution, being found along coasts of southern Africa, western South America, southern Australia, southern India, and more. These crabs have strong legs which can hold tight to surfaces even when facing strong currents, and they've been found clinging to the bottoms of boats. Red rock crabs are found in intertidal areas, reefs, and in rock pools. Because they can handle such strong currents, they don't mind dealing with heavy waves. To eat, these crabs will snap off pieces of seaweed and munch on them, sometimes eating small animals clinging to the seaweed in the process. In size, red rock crabs may be 2 to 3 inches in length, not including their legs. These crabs are also commonly known as Cape rock crabs, so maybe they aren't true red rock crabs. Next we have the red rock crab. These crabs are found along tropical coasts of the Americas, and they also inhabit the Galapagos Islands. Those living in the Galapagos are slightly larger than their mainland dwelling conspecifics, with red rock crabs averaging just over 2 inches in length. These crabs eat just about anything from algae, dead animals, and even members of their own species. Heck, they even eat ticks off marine iguanas. Red rock crabs are born from eggs carried by their mother until she releases them to the sea. They'll stay here as larvae until they're ready to make their way to land. Adult red rock crabs are land-dwelling creatures, and they keep some seawater stored in their shells so they can keep their gills moist. They can also use this water as a defense against predators by spraying it at an attacker. Young adult red rock crabs are the color of the environment around them, but as they mature, they take on that bright red hue. These crabs, however, have another common name thanks to their agile movements in their rocky habitats. They're also commonly known as Sally Lightfoot crabs, so maybe they aren't true red rock crabs either. Finally, we have the red rock crab. These are perhaps the truest red rock crabs because their other common names still allude to their red-colored nature. Red rock crabs are found along the Pacific coast of North America. They live in marine waterways from intertidal areas to about 300 feet below the waves. Red rock crabs live on rocky and sandy substrates and will burrow for shelter. The males are larger than the females, but they average about 6 inches in length. These crabs hunt sea snails, clams, smaller crabs, sea cucumbers, and more, while they in turn are eaten by large fish, gulls, cephalopods, and otters. These crabs typically mate about once per year, right after the female has shed her exoskeleton. After a crab has shed its outer shell, it becomes vulnerable. But the female red rock crabs are protected by males who will tuck the girls under their own shells to keep them safe from harm. They'll mate during this time, and the female will carry the eggs for up to 2 months before they hatch. These red rock crabs may live up to 5 years in the wild. While we might joke about naming conventions on this show, they still have a purpose. This just goes to show why scientific classification is so important. 3 completely different species with the same common name can make for confusing conversation, but when scientific names are applied, the facts become more clear. For more facts on red rock crabs, check out the links in the description. Thank you to Lenora Gibson for today's request. Give a thumbs up if you learned something new today, and thank you for watching Animal Fact Files.